We just love these women and these children right where they are.
He was stealing. I felt like I made the biggest mistake. You just failed God, and I felt shame.
And I just kind of went crazy. Started drinking, sneak out of the house at night.
I was going to prison no matter what.
It really hurts. I had to parent the parent, and I would get mad that she wasn't there.
I didn't understand God's plan then because I didn't know when I was coming home. The volatile started again. The abuse was still there. I couldn't see straight. My aunt had to step in and care for Elisa and Nevaeh. Made a agreement that as long as I was unprepared to be consistent, I would stay out of their lives. The addiction started again, and it got really ugly really fast. He was stealing, and he got me in trouble with him. And because I have a past, I was going to prison no matter what. But in the midst of all this, I was at a friend's house, and I fell asleep. And my friend was there with her boyfriend or whoever guy she was seeing. And when I woke up, he was on top of me. I did not think that I was raped. I think that it was about to happen. However, that did not end up being the case. So I turned myself in. And I'm 7 months pregnant. And I give birth to a beautiful little girl. And because I'm still an inmate, I get 1 hour with her. And then and then somebody has to come get her, or she's going to foster care. So I didn't understand God's plan then because I didn't know when I was coming home. And my aunt came and got her and took her to my sister-in-law, my brother's ex-wife. And I was gone 1 year. And during that time, while I was at that facility, I saw a flyer for Exodus Ministries. And I applied.
She was just honest, gut level honest with us, explained where she was coming from and that she had found Christ and wanted to live differently and just needed help doing that. We had contacted her caregivers for Eiley. They were willing to release her back to Lisa.
I was accepted, and we came directly from prison there. My daughter, Ileana, and I went through the program in 2015. The fact that I was accepted into Exodus Ministries was extremely amazing. A lot of the things that I've been through, we survived them so that we can go and share them, so that we can bring hope to the hopeless. After the program, because I'm flesh, I make mistakes. I got pregnant with my 4th child. I did not want to be pregnant with her. That did not fit into my plan of being reunited with my older children, and I felt like I made the biggest mistake. What were you thinking, and how could you do that? And you just failed God, and God is mad at you, and I felt shame. I was emotionally struggling. I was spiritually struggling. I was at a very bottom. I didn't want to know the baby's gender. I was exploring the option of adoption. I made a list of pros and cons of adoption, and they were high on the pro list. but I needed to find a peace. What is the Christian thing to do? What is the right thing to do? What is the logical thing to do? I had 3 potential families, and each family that I met, I fell in love with the family. I left thinking each time, this is your family. During that time, my whole pregnancy, my relationship with God skyrocketed because there was no one else I was listening to. There was no one else I was going to. There was no one else but me and him because I was struggling. And he kept impressing it upon me that I'm with you if you want to keep the baby. I will be with you in every situation. It won't be easy, but I'll be with you. And I'll be with the family if that's what you choose. In the last moment, I said, I'm keeping this baby. Regardless of who helps me, who walks away from me, how hard it is, I'm keeping this baby because God is with me.
I admire her and respect her for going through the pregnancy and keeping her head held high, walking in it in dignity, and figuring out how to lean on God through it all. And now she's got a beautiful little daughter that just happens to be part of her journey. We just walked her through it and love her through it, and we love her and Eiley, Zoe, Elisa, and Nevaeh. We love them all.
My life changed because my relationship with God completely changed. It got stronger, it got real.
Just now getting to know Eiley. We're barely starting to form that like sisterly bond. She's super sweet. And me and Zoe, we haven't really formed any type of relationship yet because she is so young and so new. I'm very close to Nevaeh. Since her birth, I was always there. We've been through so much together. Whenever my mom had left us for a while, it was me and her. So we're very close. It really hurts that I can't keep in contact with her. I lost contact with my dad for a very long time, so I don't really have much memory of him at all. I remember there was this one time whenever me and my aunt were at a store, and I saw a man and I was like, that's my dad. Like, I felt it. So I told my aunt and she was like, no way. And I was like, I think it is. And so she just called his name and he turned around and it was him. And he was like, can I help you guys? And so he didn't recognize me. He didn't know who I was. Hey, I'm your daughter. I'm alive, I'm okay. And he was in shock. And then that was it. And then we just went about our business. There was no, well, let's stay in contact, or I want to get to know you. There was none of that. I've gone all this time without him, and he had the opportunity back then, and he didn't take it. For a while, I was very good. I had perfect grades. Everything was really good. That I just kind of like, I don't know. I guess I was just going through changes and I just kind of went crazy. Stopped showing up to school, hanging out with people that I shouldn't have, started drinking. I would sneak out of the house at night to go to a party or something. It was kind of like that for a while, and then I got caught. And then I got into trouble, and I got into a lot of trouble. They were threatening me with court for my attendance because back in elementary, whenever I was in between my mom and my grandma and my aunt, and I had missed a lot of school then, so they took me to court then. And they just kind of monitor you throughout, and then I started missing school again, so it came back up. But I got all of that taken care of. I did all my community service, everything that I was supposed to do. I had to work very hard to get my GPA back up because it went so low. I didn't miss school again, and then I ended up graduating early. I had to act older, I had to grow up, I had to parent the parent. I was sad for a really long time, And then I got angry. And I was angry for a very long time. And then I was sad again. I was upset, and then I would get mad that I was upset, and I would get mad that she wasn't there. It felt like she had picked her life over us. I think it's really changed the way I feel about things, because whenever I was younger, I used to be very emotional. My mom told me all the time that I was like a very emotional person. And now I don't feel much. I kind of push things away, or if I do feel something, I don't choose to recognize it. I'm very closed off. I don't really like to open up much about things. I don't like to talk to certain people about things. It makes me very cautious. This is where I am now. This is where it led me.
We just love these women and these children right where they are. And whatever they are facing, if they will allow us to walk them through it, we're willing to face it with them.
We're gonna make mistakes, because I do all the time, but in God's eyes, I am redeemed. I didn't survive all these mistakes so that I can live in regret for them, or that I can keep them to myself. I feel like they should be shared, because if God can do it for me, God can do it for you, or God can do it for the next person.
In the beginning, if you were to ask me, do you think your mom will ever abuse drugs again? I probably would have said, I don't know. And if you ask me now, I know it's a no. Just the way that she's changed, I can tell. I can feel it. I can see it. It's there. It happened. She's different. I have 100% confidence in her that she won't fall back into that lifestyle again.
God has an incredible ability to redeem the things that we maybe mess up, and take our broken pieces and make a beautiful mosaic.
I know that He can do that for anyone. He can do that for the person who's struggling right now. He can do that for the person who feels like they're never gonna change, for the person who feels like they've made too many mistakes.
It's never hopeless. If you're breathing, there's hope. God has great plans for each and every one of us, not just certain ones, every single one of us. It doesn't matter where you are, it doesn't matter your circumstances, God's got a great plan for you.
The mess that I made in the beginning part, the first half of my life, that's what I wanted to do. That was the mess that I wanted to create, that was the picture I wanted to paint, and it was at the cost of a lot. It wasn't just me that it cost. It was my family, my loved ones, my children. And so at this point, everything going forward is for them. I am loving every single minute of it. Right now, I'm currently finishing my associates in associates in science. In 15 years, I would definitely like to be a woman of integrity. I would definitely be pointing my children in the direction of good sound things. I might be a grandma, maybe, hopefully.
Just to say something.
I love Jesus.
God is love, and love comes from God. In 1 John, the Bible tells us that God is not only all-loving, but that He actually is love itself. The heart of the Parent Compass television show is to bring the transforming love of God to families everywhere. In every Parent Compass episode, true stories reveal family struggles and how their lives were radically changed by the love of God. Parent Compass, an award-winning television series, is completely funded by people like you. If you have been touched by God and you want to share God's love to others, would you please pass it on? Jesus tells us to go into all the world and to tell about Him. With your donation, you allow us to take this television show into many different nations and in many different languages, free of charge. And a portion of your donation goes to Parent Compass Outreach to feed starving children. Your gift does so much. To make your tax-deductible gift, go to parentcompass.tv/donate. That's parentcompass.tv/donate. And thank you for sending love and hope around the world.